Now, as I'm doing this video, pre-market, the Nio stock price is down 6% in the US market, and in Singapore, Nio stock finished down 9%. Hong Kong Nio stock finished down 8%. What is happening? Well, apparently, a Singapore wealth fund is reporting that Nio is inflating their revenues on the battery side of their business, which is something that is very interesting, because this is not the very first time that we have got this kind of cases being raised onto Nio. If you remember very well, or if you have been onto Nio for quite some time, you'll know that back in July of 2022, the company or another fund or investment fund, Grizzly, reported the same claims, or came with the same claims that this Singapore fund is now also coming with, which is something that is very, very interesting. I mean, back in 2022, Nio cleared out those misconceptions or misinformation, but right now we are seeing this Singapore's wealth fund reporting the same thing that we saw back in 2022, and they are saying that because of Nio did not report accurate numbers, they've lost so much in terms of what they've placed onto Nio. This tells me that these guys were shorting Nio, and since the Nio share price has been on a recovery mode, as so many of the investors globally are looking towards Nio getting to profitability and is also seeing the massive revenues boost that are coming from Nio, the share price has been squeezing out the short sellers, or these people that go in or that were shorting Nio for the longest period. But of course, before we dig deep right into this news, because we have got a lot to unpack, because it is having an impact onto the Nio stock price. These news are having an impact into the stock price of Nio, and it's important that we unpack this. But before we dig deep, please like this video, man. Please subscribe onto this channel, because you know that all day, every day, I'm here giving you Nio's latest developments, latest content onto Nio. And these news are very important, that as the Nio investors, or as someone who have been doing the Nio videos here on YouTube for quite some time, we try and unpack what is it that is happening, which is very important. So like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let's get into the news. Now, this Wealth Singapore fund is claiming that, look, when Nio sells their cars without a battery, as many of you will know that Nio, under their battery as a service subscription, Nio gives you an option to buy a car with a battery or without a battery. And without a battery, you get to pay less. On Nio cars, on Vo cars, the price gets cut by around $10,000 if you are buying a Nio car without a battery. Now, what happens is that those that buy their Nio car without a battery, with an intention of using Nio's battery swapping station, which allows the users to rather rent a battery than owning a battery, there is a company that owns the battery assets, or the batteries, for the people that are buying the Nio cars without a battery. And this company is called Weineng in Chinese, which of course it also has an English name. And those of you that have been on this channel, you know that we've spoken about this company or this name. The company is called Miratari. Now, Miratari is a battery asset management company that is not only owned by Nio, by the way. This company is owned by 4 companies, including Nio. I mean, you will know, as soon as you notice that Miratari is jointly owned by Nio and CATL, Junen, and Hubei Science and Technology. And these companies, ladies and gents, or this company Miratari, what usually happens is that when users buy the cars without a battery, Miratari pays Nio for those batteries, and of course get money or revenues from their battery rentals or monthly rentals that they, of course, are getting or are collecting from those that are paying for those batteries, right? You know that, I think, standard battery packs, those users that are buying the Nio cars without the battery, they are paying Nio like what, 728 RMB for the standard battery packs, and of course I think 1128 RMB for the long range. So Miratari pays Nio, right, for those batteries, and of course in return Miratari will accumulate the monthly subscription from the users or those that buy Nio cars. This is what I know, right? This is what happens. So therefore it means that the revenue onto Nio must be recorded, because after the users buy these batteries, or after the users buys the Nio cars without the battery, Mercury still pays Nio the full amount. It does not register as monthly battery rentals onto Nio, because monthly battery rentals are money goes to Mercury. Mercury pays Nio full amount, but the leasing that the new users are paying pays onto Mercury. Mercury then obviously is accumulating revenues like that, but Mercury pays already full amount to Nio for those batteries. So even though this revenue for battery rentals comes on a month to month, but Nio, what I know is that they get this money cash from Mercury. So this is not something that I think it's really that much of a trend smash. The guy, or this Singapore Wealth Fund, I think they are more worried about losing money because Nio share price has been recovering. Nio share price has been recovering. I mean, part of the reason why Nio stock price has been going up, it's not because of what they've been generating in the previous quarters. Let's put it straight like that. It's not about, I mean, Nio earnings, honestly, Q1, Q2, yes, though they were better, but I do not think that has been the driver of Nio stock price. What has been driving the Nio stock price? I will tell you. Go and check also on the share price of Nio. Where did we see the stock price of Nio starting to move up? It was when the L90 was launched and the orders were coming in like crazy. It was when the Nio ES8 was pre-launched and ultimately launched, and orders came in like crazy. This is what is making the share price of Nio to rise, because investors see the potential, or investors are seeing Nio indeed going to get to profitability in Q4. And now, because the short sellers have been squeezed out, or they had bet against Nio and are losing money, all of a sudden now they're trying to make something out of it to try to make or bring the share price of Nio down, because they've lost so much in recent days because of the share price of Nio showing the massive recoveries. So to me personally, there is no case here, right? Because from what I know is that even though the users are buying the Nio cars without the batteries, Mercury pays Nio full amount of those batteries in advance, in anticipation of collecting of course this monthly battery subscription from the users that are buying the Nio cars without the battery. So honestly, this is not, I'm not surprised by this, because the very same story was brought out by Grizzly back in July of 2022, and it was dealt with, it was cleared, and now seeing it coming back again here, I think, yeah, it's a bit it's not surprising, but I must say it's a low blow to me. This is a low blow because, like I said, Nio share price has not been going up because of the earnings that they've reported in Q1 and Q2. No. It's because of the massive demand that we're seeing onto Nio car, giving a proof, or giving demonstrating or showing us that indeed Nio is going to get to profitability. Now, the short sellers are losing money or have lost money when the Nio share price started recovering. And like I said, go and check the date of the official launch of the Onvo L90. I think it was launched end of July, I think, right? And check how the share price started moving. In fact, check from the pre-launch. You will notice that the share price recovery was all based from the orders that we've been receiving of the Onvo L90, was all based from the orders we've been receiving and the deliveries of the ES8 and the Onvo L90, which this is why the share price of Nio has been recovering. Not because of the earnings that Nio reported in Q2, not because of the earnings that Nio reported in Q1. It has got nothing to do with that. Though Q2 earnings were better, but I can tell you the share price of Nio is not moved, or was not moved by that, but rather by the sentiment or by the confidence that investors are now having after seeing Nio orders exploding, after seeing Nio deliverings hitting all-time high. That is what is making the share price of Nio exploding. There is no other explanation, guys, and that is why I'm saying what this wealth or Singapore Wealth fund is saying, in my opinion, it's just a low blow. They're just trying to make the share price of NIO come down, which I'm telling you, it will never go that far. Yes, I see pre-market, the stock price or share price of NIO is down. And in Singapore, Hong Kong, it did not do that well. But we all know that this thing come time and time again. I mean, 2022, July, we saw Grizzly. Now it's the Singapore Wealth Fund. But anyways, I don't want to make this video too long. I just thought I'd come and quickly clear out this situation that we found ourselves in again. But yeah, to us who have been on the NIO stock for quite some time, we have seen this in the past. It's a repetition of what has happened in the past. But anyways, let me end this video and not make it too long. I'll see you in the next one. Like, share, subscribe. That's all from me, and God bless you all.